Holidays in general can be challenging to navigate, but the holidays, the social events, those are still not what's holding you back. What is actually holding you back during these next 6 weeks is your all or nothing thinking. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. My name is Brooks Herbis, and I'm an online fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach who's here to help you simplify and make sense out of the all too confusing fitness and nutrition industry. Let's be real, there's a lot of conflicting information online, and it can be hard to know what's legit and who to trust. In every episode, I'll be sharing the science and psychology behind health, fitness, and long-lasting behavior change. But I'll also be sharing real-life practical application, because all of the best info in the world only matters if you can actually apply it to your real life. So grab a coffee, water, glass of wine, or lace up your walking shoes, and let's dive in. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. I just had my homemade little sugar cookie latte, so I am ready to keep diving in on the holidays and all that good strategy, because last week's episode was all about peer pressure and really navigating those uncomfortable conversations around the holidays. What do you do when your family and friends don't get it, when they're trying to influence your decisions? So if that sounds like what you need help with this holiday season, go and listen to last week's episode. This episode is going to be more about your mindset around the holidays, because spoiler alert, as a coach who is all about the mindset piece, this is actually where most of us fail around the holidays. You can probably relate to, going into the holidays with the best of intentions. You want to still make progress towards your goals. You are like dead set on fat loss being the goal and keeping with that over the next 6 weeks. Like, you want this year to look different than it has in the past. You don't want to keep falling into this cycle of just feeling so blah by the time January 1st rolls around. You are so committed to your goals this year. But at some point, you get so tired of restricting, of trying to track calories and things that you didn't make yourself, of trying to keep up with all these goals and habits. When you have a million social events going on every single week, you get so just overwhelmed and exhausted by the whole process that at one point you find yourself overeating. And after that, you're probably like, what's the point? You know what? I've been working so hard. It's not getting me anywhere. The scale keeps climbing up. I'm tired of feeling like I'm left out when it comes to all of these social events. Like, what's the point in this? I'm miserable. And so you just throw in the towel until New Year's. But you also end up being miserable in that process because you don't feel like you're acting in a way that's in line with your goals. And physically, you probably don't feel your best. I know what that feels like, because before I was a coach, that is a cycle that I was in. I was starting every January 1st just feeling so gross, for lack of a better term. So I know what that cycle is like. That is what most of my clients are going through before they start working with me. That's what a typical holiday season looks like for a lot of people, a lot of the women who tend to listen and engage with my content. But the truth is that the holidays are truly just a few days out of this 6-week period. And I totally get that there are a lot of extra events and dinners out, and I know that the holidays in general can be challenging to navigate, but the holidays, the social events, those are still not what's holding you back. What is actually holding you back during these next 6 weeks over this entire holiday season is your all or nothing thinking. It's thinking that you have to be perfect, that you have to follow your goals and your daily habits exactly as you have been the last 11 months. And if you're not, it's not worth trying. So what that typically looks like is you end up having 5 Christmas cookies because you allowed yourself to have that first one, thinking that if you can't hit all of your goals perfectly, if you can't track calories, if you can't be in a calorie deficit, if you can't eat protein at every meal, then there's really no point in doing anything at all. If you can't get your full 45-minute workout in, or you're going to need to miss a workout because you're heading home for the holidays, then you just skip your program for the whole week. And over the holidays, when there is this big uptick in social events and travel, and we just have a lot of extra responsibilities, maybe you're like buying gift for your loved ones, maybe you are trying to like cram in a lot of work things before the end of the year, whatever it is, our responsibilities pick up, we have less time, we're feeling overwhelmed in general. It's really hard to be all in on your health and fitness goals, and so you end up being all out. I'm sure you could guess that when you are all out, you're not going to make any progress. And in order to see progress this holiday season, and I do want to be clear that when I'm talking about progress, I'm not just talking about losing fat. There are lots of different ways that your holiday season can look. And progress to you over the holidays might even be different than what progress was last month. So just take that open approach as we're going through this podcast. But I do just want to let you know that in order to see progress, whatever that's looking like for you this holiday season, you really need to change your mindset and your approach. Because in order to not be all in or all out, you need to get more comfortable living in the gray. Finding more of that middle ground, not falling into the all or nothing thinking trap. And here is how we can do that, because ditching this all or nothing thinking is truly going to be the thing that changes your holiday season and make sure that this season looks a heck of a lot different than it did last year, because I know this is possible. I have helped many clients change their mindset around this. This is literally my bread and butter, you guys. I love this stuff. So I know it's possible for you too. And I want this to be possible for you, because I want you to approach the holiday season with not just more balance, but also less stress. It does not feel good when you're not following through on your goals, which is why often the holiday seasons tend to have this like underlying feeling of guilt and stress to it. It's not just that you decided not to worry about your fitness goals, it's that you never changed your fitness goals in the first place. So when you start to eat the cookies and the drinks and the more indulgent food, you start to feel like you're not acting in a way that's in line with your goals, which is where that guilt comes from. So then, instead of this holiday season of actually enjoying the more indulgent foods and being able to go to the happy hour and just enjoy yourself with your friends and family, there's always that little bit of guilt surrounding it. And that's what I want to eliminate. I want you to feel like not only can you enjoy these treats and these more indulgent foods, but that you're also doing so without the typical guilt and stress you feel when you do it. So it's not only about finding moderation. It's not only about finding balance. It's also about adjusting your mindset so that while you're finding moderation, while you're finding balance, you're actually able to enjoy yourself in the process. Because when you're already dealing with overwhelm of the season in general, I really don't want you guys having extra stress coming from food. So how can we stress less about food while also making more progress this holiday season? The first step to that is going to be redefining your definition of success. This is going to be uncomfortable for some of you, especially if your only goal up to this point, your entire life, has been fat loss and getting the scale to go down. What does success actually look like this holiday season? Is success only fat loss, or could it be something else? If you've only ever gained weight over the holiday season, could success be maintaining your weight? Or could it be something more tangible, like over the next 6 weeks, success to me looks like keeping up with my strength training program, or success to me looks like getting out for a daily walk, or success to me looks like still having protein, even if I'm letting some of my other fitness goals slip. So that's really what I want you to focus on first. Think about what success means to you these next 6 weeks. And I want to be so freaking clear about the fact that success these next few weeks over the holidays does not have to mean the same thing that it did the past 11 months. And I really want to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone and think, what does success look like for me right now? Not what it quote unquote should look like, but what would truly make you feel really proud come January 1st. Think about that. So that is step one. Now, step two is to start to work through your all or nothing mentality. So over these next few weeks, I want you to continue to remember that something is better than nothing. You might not have full access to your normal gym. Could you do a home workout, or could you go and take a fun class? Or could you go on a walk with your mom? When I'm at home over the holidays, I typically don't strength train, which I strength train. If you guys know me, I follow a strength training program every single week. Progressive overload. I am dialed in. When I'm home for the holidays, I mix it up. I go take group fitness classes with my little brother or my sister-in-laws. I go to a walk. I go on a walk with like my mom. I switch it up. I do something different. I allow my workout time to also be family time. So could you do that? If you can't get your normal workouts in, could you still get some movement in? Other ways to remember and get into more of that middle ground is eating vegetables at one meal instead of all three is better than none. Tracking calories for a couple meals is better than just tracking calories, not at all. So whatever your typical goals are, know that you might not be able to stick to those to your full capacity over these next few weeks. But something is always going to be better than nothing. And instead of just throwing in the towel and being all out the second that you can't be perfect, the second that you can't be all in, how can you still try to find that little bit of something and recognizing that every choice you make that's getting you closer to your goals is still having an impact? Even if it's not the choice that you would typically make or a choice that's as all in as you usually would be, every single choice you're making that's getting you closer to your goals is making a difference. The last thing I want you guys to do to really stress about food less, make more progress this holiday season, is to find yourself some extra accountability. Having a coach, having a group of women during this period can be so valuable because it's hard to get out of that all or nothing thinking trap on your own. It's hard to remember that the holidays are meant to be fun and carefree and not stressful. It's hard to remember that those little bits of action still really do count, and you're not ruining anything when you have the cookie or you have a more indulgent night. So having that accountability, having that backstop to remind you of that is so valuable. And this is actually why I am so excited, because you guys have heard me talk about Holiday Hustle, and it goes live on Monday, November 25th. So if you're listening in real time, that is this upcoming Monday. I am seriously so pumped about this program. I have been working on it the past couple months. It is so different in terms of how we're going to approach the holiday season. Like, imagine if you had 4 weeks to build a holiday season that feels really good to you. Not some cookie cutter strict 30-day challenge that has you like drinking X amount of water or doing X amount of squats a day or cutting out these foods. None of that, because that, as you've seen in past years, is not helpful. Like, truly 30 days to help you redefine your goals so you can either make or maintain your current progress. 30 days to stay consistent in a way that feels so good to you, and guarantee your 2025 is going to get off to a good start. Most importantly, we're going to be doing all of those things while still enjoying all of the fun foods and events that the holidays have to offer. Like, I created Holiday Hustle because I want you to have your most carefree holiday season yet. No stressing about food, no throwing in the towel, no gaining those average of 2 pounds over the holiday season that just keep compounding year after year. Truly, by joining this program, you are going to feel so good come January 1st. And to top it off, you'll have gained the skills to help you continue to see results in the new year. You can probably tell that I am so excited and like so passionate about this program because I know that this is what a lot of you need over the holidays. Registration does officially open on Monday and we start on December 2nd. I'm going to link the details in the show notes so you can get some more info and make sure you don't miss it when you drop. Now, the holidays can be anxiety producing, they can feel overwhelming for a lot of people, but I want to give you guys some, encouragement that they don't have to be. This doesn't have to be the year where you restrict, you fall into overeating, and you feel that underlying sense of guilt all season long. So to recap, in order to get out of that mindset, we're going to redefine what your definition of success actually is this holiday season. You're going to start working on your all or nothing mentality. You're going to get yourself that extra accountability, hopefully by joining Holiday Hustle, and you're going to eliminate that throwing in the towel that you've been doing every year. So, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. It truly means the world to me. If you're interested in Holiday Hustle, I'm leaving the details in the show notes for you. I hope you join me. I'll be back in a couple weeks to talk all things New Year and getting ready to kick your goals in 2025. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.